Okay, again, looking at the questions on page 65 and 66. First question says, Katimikash biliet itatuba iatuk. Katimikash biliet itatuba iatuk. And when you are looking at a question, if you will answer the question according to how the question is asked, you're going to be a lot closer to making a correct statement than just giving a single word answer. I prefer a complete sentence. Your sentence should read like so. It should be replacing the word katimikash with satatiash. Katimikash biliet itatuba iatuk. This is how your question should have been answered, with satatiash replacing katimikash. Katimikash biliet itatuba iatuk. Satatiash biliet itatuba iatuk. I'll get it spelled here correctly in a minute. Well, that didn't work. Satatiash biliet itatuba iatuk. I know in English we become accustomed to giving a single word answer, but the more you write and the more you speak what you are writing, it's going to enhance your skills. It's not going to take away from your skills. It will help you retain. It will help you know how to make those answers in full sentences. And then the second question says, Nata hoyotuk. Nata hoyotuk. And again, you don't have to write exactly what the story tells you. Sometimes this is kind of like having a book report. You read the story and you tell it in your own words. Sometimes that has to happen. You don't have to quote the story verbatim. Nata hoyotuk. What is the question asking? Always ask yourself, what is the question asking? The first one says, when did Billy go to the store? And it doesn't say anything about nafuka, does it? Doesn't say anything about nafuka. It just says, when did he go to the store? When did Billy go to the store? And then 2 says, Nata hoyotuk, and it's simply asking, what did he look for? What did he look for? What did he look for? What was he looking for? What was he looking for? The question here, the answer here would be Balafuka himuna hoyotuk. Balafuka himuna hoyotuk. So Balafuka himuna is replacing the question word nata. Nata hoyotuk. Balafuka himuna hoyotuk. We know the subject is still Billy. Number 3, Balafuka katimapo pisatuk. Balafuk pisatuk. And in the third line it says Balafuka lusa pisatuk. Balafuka lusa pisatuk. Doesn't ask about Billy. It's just saying he. Which pants did he look at? Which pants did he look at? Balafuka katimapo pisatuk. It doesn't say which pants did Billy look at. It says what pants did he look at? Balafuka lusa pisatuk would be the answer. You're replacing lusa with katimapo with lusa. Balafuka katimapo pisatuk. Balafuka lusa pisatuk. Always think in terms of how you're going to form this answer, because we learned that in the question words, where there's a question word, you're going to find the answer in the same place where you find that question word. That should help you format your sentences correctly. On number 4, nata chompatuk. Nata chompatuk. It's not asking what did Billy buy. It's simply asking what did he buy. What did he buy? Balafuka lusa. In the story it says Balafuka lusa michamakili tukbi chompatuk. Well, it has Billy yet. But you could also say he bought black pants and white pants. You don't have to say the same as, just because the story does. The story tells us that he bought black pants and white pants. Not black and white, black pants and white pants. Okay, the last one says katima iatuk. Katima iatuk. In the last line says chukafalamat iatuk. And it doesn't say where did he go back to. It just says where did he go. So all you need to say is chuka iatuk. Where did he go? Katima iatuk. You're replacing katima with chuka. Chuka iatuk. Keep in mind about replacing the question words with the answers, and that will help you format your sentences. Any questions on this part? Okay, I'm going to put your other assignment on the screen. Okay, there's your assignment. On part A, if you will, send your answers to the even-numbered sentences. On part B, the odd-numbered sentences. And on part C, the even-numbered again. And I would like for you to complete A first, send it in, then complete B and send it in, then complete C and send it in. That way, if we don't finish one particular part, I can erase those from my screen and we can go on to the next one. If we don't complete them all, then we have Friday to do this. We have Friday to finish the end of the chapter exercises. But I would like for you to finish part A and send it in first, then work on part B and send it in when you complete it. Don't send all parts A, B, and C together in one entry. And we'll go over these as soon as I get everybody's part A in. Okay, let's go over your part A. Are you washing it? Are you washing it? Ish achifaho. Ish achifaho. If you will look back on page 62, we learned two different pronouns, two different types of pronouns. And the second one we learned were called the affected person markers. this tells about how to know the difference. In that next to the last paragraph, it says, how do we know whether the affected person marker refers to a subject or an object? The best way is to learn what form of subject each verb takes. All the verbs introduced so far have agent subjects, meaning they are action words. The words that are going to show a type of physical action. Those are what we call the group 1 verbs. And it says virtually all adjectives have affected subjects, meaning that predicate adjectives, anything that describes the subject is a predicate adjective, and those are going to take the affected person markers as their subject. So, wash. Is wash an active verb or not? Active verbs are going to take the agent person markers. Those agent person markers are doing the action of the verb. So you would have ish achifahu. Ish achifahu. Number 4, he helped her. He helped her. We don't have a marker for he as an agent. We don't have a marker for her as an affected subject, affected pronoun. We don't have a pronoun for he. We don't have a pronoun for her. One is the subject, one is the object. So we simply use the verb apilatok. Apilatok. This shows that someone helped someone else. Number 6, you in the plural found him. You in the plural found him. We use the term ahochi, and I have given explanation about why we don't use that first word in our vocabulary list. We use the second verb, ahochi. You in the plural is hush. Huyo is an active verb, shows a type of physical action. So we can say hush, found, not look for. Hush ahochi took. Hush ahochi took. Found. You in the plural found him. Hush ahochi took. Number 8, are you looking for me? Are you looking for me? Isahoyoho. Isahoyoho. And we looked at why we're going to use the is without the h, and this was on page 61. In the middle of the page, it says, when ish or hush appears before sa or si, it's contracted to isa or hasa, or isi and hasi. So this is why we isahoyoho. Isahoyoho. We write it with the h, but the pronunciation doesn't have the h. So always write the full form. Isahoyoho. Ish sahoyoho. Number 10, I washed it. We don't have a marker for it. I washed it. So we're going to look at the active form. Achifa is an action word, just like you in number 2. It's going to take an agent subject. The agent is doing the action of the verb. Achifa lituk. Achifa. In number 12, you in the plural help me. Hush siapila tuk. Hush siapila tuk. Always write the full form, even though you don't hear it in pronunciation. Hush siapila tuk. Si, because apila begins with a vowel. Si. Hush si apila tuk. Number 14. He helped you. We don't have a marker for he, but we have a marker for you in the objective case as a direct object. Chi apila tuk. Chi apila tuk. So always keep in mind which pronouns are going to take what type of predicates these pronouns are going to take if they're in the subject position. That's something you'll have to learn over time. Che is not always the right pronoun to use. Ish is not always the right pronoun to use. So you'll have to learn which form of predicate each one will take. Agent person markers, they're called agents because they are doing the action of the verb. You may have to ask yourself, is this subject doing the action of the verb? What is the verb? If you have a predicate adjective, those predicate adjectives are going to take an affected subject. Something is describing that subject or having an effect on it. Okay, if you will send in your part B. I'm going to continue this until Friday. I had hoped to have all of part B in, but as soon as you come into class on Friday, send in part C, and we'll go over both of these on Friday. Spisa la chiki,